G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome back of course to the Time Bomb channel, and I hope all is good in your part of the world. Watch review today of an All-Star. This is the NAUTOSCAPH IV, and it has been lent into the channel by the lovely people at First Class Watches. Do check them out, let them know you've come from the Time Bomb channel. They've got some brilliant stock and sales, specifically sales going on at the moment. So yeah, give them a shout please. Just before I get into the watch, well, there's the watch we're going to look at today. I don't normally bother with watch packaging, as regulars to the channels will know, but this leather pouch is excellent. It is really nice. You pick it up, you look at it, and you can't help but notice how incredibly nice the leather is and the build quality is on this one. As I say, shocked because I normally don't bother looking at these things, so really, you know, but credit where credit is due. That is really very nice indeed. All right, let me just pause and zoom in a fraction. All right, and so here is our watch today. As I say, the NAUTOSCAPH IV. It is, I find, an incredibly good-looking watch. It's all about those retro good looks, and I think they've absolutely nailed it there. The brand was revived, excuse me, in about 2017, has since released some very successful models. Most of you probably will be very aware of the ALSTA Super Automatic, made very famous, of course, by that little movie called Jaws. However, to me, they made that Super Automatic there super a little bit too small at 38 mils across, specifically for a dive watch. And this one's kind of gone the other way. The Auto 4 then is a much larger size watch. So let's talk about those key specs. Across the center section here is about 40 mils. You'll add a couple more for the crown there. It is quite a sizable, you've probably seen that already in my hands, quite a sizable 51 mils north to south, about 15 mils deep. And let me just show you what that looks like on wrist, because I think for many it's going to be a little bit too long. My wrist, for reference, is 7 and a bit, and as you can see, it does extend a little bit over the shoulders of my wrist. So if you've got a 6-inch wrist, etc., 6.5, this is going to be too big, I think. They kind of need to find the sweet spot, I think, between their sizing. These currently retail for £595 in the UK, and I think that's the same on, so this is on First Class, and that's the same on the ALSTA website also. 300 meters of watery goodness, probably one of the reasons why it's such a thick boy. You do get sapphire up top. Let me zoom in a fraction because it's quite a boxy lump up there. Very nice. I do like the curves on box crystals. The shoulders on them are fantastic, and of course, as a consequence, you get some nice distortion around the edge of the dial as that moves around. The light reflects off it. It's quite nice though. Buzzing away inside is a Seiko NH35, and when I realized that, found out, I sort of went eek. £595 for an NH35. Okay, yes, I'll yeah, okay, moving on. The dial, I think, is very legible, very clear. I think they've done a fantastic job of, you know, matching hour markers and fonts and everything like that. I think that's done very well indeed, and I think it's super clear and legible. And I love as well the pop of orange color on the seconds hand. There's quite a bit of text on the dial, but I think they've chosen quite a small font, so it more or less works well. And then, yes, the bezel. So on the website, it says that the bezel is steel with a ceramic insert, but I'm wondering if that's a different model, because that to me looks like a singular piece of steel. Again, if that's incorrect, please do correct me down below. The watch is new, but the bezel action is very stiff. you got to get a little bit of action going on here to get it to shift. I can't see through the camera to pop it back up to the 12. 1 second. I mean, there's absolutely no way you're knocking this thing out of place. It is rock solid. Um, Getting quite a lot of fingerprints on that one, excuse me. So yeah, impressive bezel, as I say, really fixed and stiff on there. It may loosen up, you know, after a year's worth of use and fiddling, but at the moment, as I say, super secure. The beads of rice bracelet, I think looks very good. Again, in keeping with the retro vintage aspect of the watch. But I think they've dropped the ball a little bit on a £600 watch with the clasp, going for that little press piece here. And in addition to which, as you can see, there's no release buttons, excuse me. So it's a pull and hope. And I really don't think that's up to par for the rest of the watch. I sincerely hope that, you know, they can find a clasp with some release buttons on it for future releases. However, though, to me, I think I would probably prefer wearing this on their Orca rubber dive strap. I just think that rubber looks better, and I think it's probably more of a versatile strap also. Here on the Time Bomb channel, so let me just open that back up again so show you the case back. Here on the Time Bomb channel, we absolutely love sharks. Regulars to the channel will know that. So you get one on the back there. You can probably see it better on the clasp here, and I honestly have got to question whether that is the best engraving of a shark that they could have come up with. What do you guys think? Those are my thoughts. Let's hear yours down below. We've got C3 Superluminova on the watch, and it's really quite shiny. I think a lot of that is down to the fact that you've got very big hour markers and big loom swathes within the hands. It just allows it to really shine very nicely. I just did wonder whether there could have been any loom on the bezel as well. I think that would have been, you know, a nice touch. Clearly, what brings a lot of people to the brand is the backstory and the history, and to me, that's absolutely enough. I think, you know, they've got some brilliant designs. I just hope that they can fix a couple of these aspects to make it appeal to watch owners in the future, and not just down to the looks, but because they're offering something additional with it. Anyway, as always, those are just my thoughts. Total retro dive watch kind of again reminds me so much of the famous skin divers of the 60s and 70s. So again, lots to like, and a couple of aspects I hope they can fix in the future. Anyway, what do you guys reckon? Huge thanks again to the guys over at First Class Watches for the loan of this one, and we'll catch you all in the next watch vid. Cheers now.